So hello and welcome back to another live trading session, trading the Euro USD in London session. So we are back at it again. So I have passed an account which the video will come after this video. Yesterday I said that I'll post the trade update today, but I unfortunately didn't update. I'll just show a sneak peek. You can see here I passed the account. I'll do the full explanation. I don't have a lot of time, but I'll do it after I finish this trading session. So let's just jump right into today. Today there is no news as of now. See in the my products factory. So there was no major news in the USD, but in GBP there is multiple data. All these PPI input has came out, and if you see the GBP, it had nice bearish pass. So I was thinking of trying to form an SMT, but that will not be possible. And my bias for today's session is also massive bearish. I would like to see some sort of a manipulation here. Then inside change the state and initial push to the downside. Okay, here's something I would like to see in today's momentum, and only until and unless if we do break with displacement through the Asian high and also the previous New York Asian high, then my bias can be bullish. Or until and unless if we see some sort of a manipulation, most likely I will try to enter with a bearish bias. And the thing that I've written down is this is a daily ABG. So if you see in the higher time frame, this is most likely a it has broken. The daily ABG was created here. It broke through. Now it retest. Now then we can eventually continue downward. Then there is also a daily ABG here which has already been tapped. So the 4 hour ABG, this has already been tapped, and it has been retesting from the 4 hour ABG, which you will see here, this one. So it has been retesting and it has been swept here. This is also a form of manipulation. If I zoom it here, if you see here this ABG, uh, swept of the ABG, then the internal sweep, this was the internal sweep, this was the change in the state, series of down close candles, changing the state, former change this was the entry. This would have been perfect entry if you was trading higher time frame, which I'm trying to form a like what to say, form a playbook. I'm not like very comfortable with the playbook as of now. I'm just developing it. Then once I develop quite like nicely after doing some back test, then I can put out the video. But this is the same thing that happened. If you see the 4 hour time frame, this was the FBG. It tapped the FBG. Then it did an internal sweep and manipulation. Then we consolidated a little bit, changing the state. Here was the change in the state with displacement, formed a FBG, pull back to the FBG, trade. The FBG kept open. Either the stop loss would have gone here or here. Okay. In futures, the thing that I noticed is which FBG you enter, you can put your stop loss just below that or below this candle. So even if this candle would have been, this would have been perfect, and it would have been entry. So if you see here, this would have been entry. Stop loss would be somewhere here, and you can target this high, which has been successfully hit. Okay, so this was a nice trade, which unfortunately I don't trade Asian, so I cannot partake in that. So I'll just explaining this. So if you can see, 1 hour has completely swept both of the low of the previous down close candle and also has rejected the 30-minute FBG and also rejecting the this 30-minute FBG. Now I would like to see some sort of a manipulation to the upside, which can be possible because we are seeing so much bullish momentum. London will open in 8 minutes. Let's see what happens. But if you see this sweep, I need to watch it carefully because looking at this price action, it can also be a move to the upside. If you see here, market has been falling for quite a lot of time. It has been falling since, if you see here, since 17th October. So it has not given a proper nice retracement, which most likely is due. Okay, so going on to today, we need to be super careful. And so yesterday we didn't get any trade, but I had taken a trade on the USD JPY, and in night I had taken a trade on GBP JPY, which I'll explain later in the video, which I'll make. So I was thinking that I can directly make both the videos in same time, but like in the OBS studio, you can't make two videos at the single time, so that's not possible. So now there is no SMT for me here because GBP JPY has broken through this low. Now if you see, let's see the correlation. If the correlation are working perfectly, then most probably I would like to see some sort of a similar price action, similar movement. GBP, just if you see GBP just collapsed. It didn't take any high or low, just collapsed because of the news. So here most likely I was like, if you do get some sort of a clear manipulation, it will be a nice setup. Then I can risk my full amount. Let's see if you see GBP JPY. Okay, so maximum trade the short. There is a percent chance that it can. Sorry, not GBP JPY, Euro USD. 56% are short. Okay, let's open this. We can go to then correlation and Euro USD. To find where is Euro USD. Euro USD. So which is the most correlation? Okay, so GBP USD 80% chance of correlation. So that's a bit. If it was been 90%, then I would have been a little bit comfortable in just like acting according that. So yeah, let's see what happens. My bias is bearish, and most likely we will like to see some sort of manipulation to either of the side, which I'm like doing the same thing again and again and again. I like to see some sort of manipulation to either of the side, then we can continue to the opposing side, or a different playbook, which is the higher time frame narrative, which needs to draw to the higher time frame narrative, and we can see internal sweep or manipulation is must. And turtle soup I'm trying to learn, but I have not yet discovered the entry criteria for the turtle soup. So, but we can still do this, and let's see what happens. So yeah, that's the current update. If you do take if I do get an opportunity to take a trade, then I would like to show that. And there is nothing to do as of now. Just to wait. I have marked out all my point of interest, point of area, and just wait. Waiting is the only thing that I can do now. So I'll make the video of the GBP JPY and the USD JPY trade that I had taken yesterday. Both were on the same strategy, but in just a higher time frame. So now the thing I would like to explain is, like, I think so my strike rate or win rate can go higher, because before, while I was trading, if you I don't think nobody's watching who has been watching for a lot of time. So before, while I was passing like last year, previous year September, which strategy I was trading, there was a higher time frame. So what was in that was mainly it was just based on a trend and many point of interest. But now I'm not doing the same. I'm like including the drawn liquidity, then including the daily bias, and including my trend. So these three things, when which are adding, then the strike rate of the trade becomes more, because before I was not seeing the drawn liquidity, I was just seeing the trend. Higher time frame trend is bullish, so now I need to take some sort of a bullish trade. But now, if higher time frame is bullish, but the nearest drawn liquidity is bearish, then I will just skip that pair. So yeah, and I would like to start from today also. I'll just like to start monitoring that NQ and all. I just made all that chart analysis, and there I can like US take. So yeah, I can trade from Forex broker also. The NQ is US tech, and S&P 500 is US 50 something like that. Yeah, that's about it. Let's see what happens. I'll update the video as it goes on. There is nothing to do much, and as just to wait, I'll put in 5 minute time, because 1 minute has become too small to see right now, because we have see main thing is I need to see some sort of manipulation, which I've said again and again and again. Just the thing that I say, why I say this again and again, because many times what happens in the past, that whichever trade I have misplaced, or whichever trade has gone against my direction, all of them were kind of like I was like, it didn't manipulate, and we had got a nice change in the state. So I just what do you say? I just took an entry based on statistics. So yeah, we should not do that. And let's see what happens. I'll update the video as it goes on. Okay. So here might be an opportunity, but I'm hesitating to enter. So I'll enter in a very less quantity, and let's see what happens. And so yeah, let's see. So here I will just take the trade, then I will explain it. Let's see if we do get a candle closure. 5 minutes. Buy SL is here. Okay, it is $40. Okay, okay, done. Okay, so I've done my entry, and let's see. I'll explain. Okay, now let me explain the trade. I've entered very little bit, just based on the If you see here, if I zoom out here, uh, this is the point of interest. We did sweep this low. We have an SMT with GUSD. Then we are rejecting off of this 30-minute FBG. Now let's see if it does. This doesn't close, then this trade will be kind of invalid. But I have taken my entry right over here. Now my stop loss will be below this low. I am targeting this Asian high. So let's see what happens. And I'm not that confident. That's why I've like my overall bias. If you have had said in the earlier that my bias is massive bearish. So but it came here without taking the Asian high. So that's what there was a little bit of a unnecessary movement that happened there. But regardless of that, I have taken a small entry. It doesn't matter what happens. Let's see what happens. My stop loss will be just below this low. Okay, it is technically heading for my stop loss. Didn't technically give a lot of displacement. It just gave a candle closure and it swept the high. 5 minute turned bearish. It rejected the 5 minute FBG, which is not a good sign for my entry. So yeah, based on just my intuition, I had taken very minimal entry, like the amount of I risk like 0.2% of that, zero point 0.4 or zero point 0.5. I think the market is going to take my stop loss because this FBG got filled quite nicely. So I think this trade became invalid. I don't know why. So yeah, this is just based on intuition mostly. I've said multiple times. It just gives us CISD and it runs. If it was futures, then we could have seen nice displacement to the upside, then pull back, then we can see. But I think so. I'm going to get stopped out here in just about a second. And so yeah, let's see what happens. 1 hour is currently in a reject. It is rejecting the 30-minute FBG the second time. Let's see what happens. I was kind of hoping that we do break through this in the 5 minutes, but my overall draw was this Asian high, so I couldn't like risk the market coming much lower. That was the only thing. My stop loss is just below this low, so let's see what happens. I'll update the trade as it goes. I think it is going to stop me out in a single minute. Okay, let me just journal this trade. I'll be looking for a more opportunity technically because like I had said that I was not looking for a like this was not anticipated. Just I was based on drawn liquidity and we did get a SMT. Okay, we did get stopped out. Next market is the long continue to draw liquidity. No displacement. We did get CIT. There was SMT, SBC, internal sweep. No, there was no internal sweep. There was technically internal sweep here. I don't think this will be considered as internal sweep. I did get stopped out. Oh, so let me load this. So yeah, I'll pause the video here. Let's see what happens, and I'll update the video as it was. And overall, my what you say, the pass was bearish, but we didn't manipulate here. This trade was kind of unnecessary. But while the market was here, if I see in the lower time frame, we did get a nice closure here in the 30 second, which gave me a little bit of a confidence that I can execute the trade. But it didn't happen. So, but let's see what happens. Asian low has not been taken yet. was the trade I entered here. Stop got it. No displacement. Like my only problem here I can which I identify is displacement and manipulation. Both of the things which I don't recognize while the chart is happening, while the market is going on. And afterwards I regret that why didn't I like hunt for displacement. So because like when I look for displacement, the market doesn't come back to give my entry. Okay. So that initially just messes up the whole trade. That's why I didn't look for displacement enough. Yeah, that's it. Let's see what happens. I'll update the trade as it is on. It will take this Asian low, then let's see what happens. I would think so. Like my bias was bearish and it is technically going bearish, but I was hoping for a manipulation to the upside, which didn't happen. So either I'm forcing on emotion or my expectation were too high. Let's see what happens. Let's see how the market plays out and I'll act according to that. So yeah, quick update. And as trader ended, I didn't get any further opportunity. I got busy in some little personal work. So yeah, that's for it for this video. And yeah, so this was technically it is invalid trade and we didn't get any. My overall bias was bearish and we didn't get any. Manipulation was also not there, which I had mentioned earlier, and I just entered very slight of my position. So technically, it is a trade, but does not according to my setup. Okay, it was just based on the continuation to draw on liquidity, which was this Asian high, so which didn't happen, and eventually my bearish bias played out. We didn't get any sweep of the Asian high or manipulation. So today would have been no trade. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'll post the USD JPY GBP JPY trade. So yeah, bye bye.